Yo. I'm excited. I'm kind of excited. This will be an interesting time. For sure. Just make sure things are how I want them for that. I want that lower. Because reasons, and then that there, perfect. Damn. Hello. Howdy. It's about that time, I guess. Hello. Hello, RPV. Cereal poggers? Kind of actually, though. Hello, Mari. So, if you didn't see the pictures on Twitter, this is what we're doing today. Though I do want to show one picture that I didn't actually post because it was funny. Hold on. Let's go here for a second. You know, I had the magnifying glass one, right? But I also did this one. I don't know why I put my leg up, but I did. Anyway. Anyway, I thought I should share that one. So, yeah. This will be a fun time. Alright, so, what we need first is that I need to get the milk. That's probably a good idea. Because, let me turn this down to nothing here. I did find the Pokemon cereal. I did find it. Because, yeah. So, now today, the lineup is rather, we're gonna eat all of these cereals, okay? Some of them Christmas related, holiday related, some of them just special cereals or ones that I figured that I've never had and I thought would fit good in the list. We're gonna rank them on 3 main categories, okay? 1, pure dry, no milk, no nothing, just pure dry, see how they taste. 2, sort of standard, put in a little bit of milk with it, eat it, sort of what you would expect. 3, when you kind of leave the milk in there for a bit and, you know, it gets a little bit absorbed, a little bit, maybe not quite soggy, but absorbed in, because that definitely affects it. So those are the 3 different criterias, and we're going to rate each cereal for all 3. My question to the chat is, should I rate from 1 to 5, or 0 to 10, or like ABC? I don't know. Either way, let me go grab the milk and refill my water. I'll be back in a moment. The milk is acquired. Okay. So, One other thing I would like to preface by saying, a gallon challenge, 10-point scale, okay. So, I haven't really eaten, you know, bad junk sugary cereal in somewhere between 5 to 8 years. So that plus generally getting older means that this might be a little difficult for me to deal with all of this sugar, but I will do my best. And I would also say that purely rating on taste, not considering any sort of nutritional value of any kind, of course. So I imagine I will be sugar overloaded, super overwhelmed, because I really don't have too much sugar nowadays. But with that said, let's start off with a nice Christmas one, shall we? We have, let me actually change to this camera, a little bit more zoomed in. We have Elf on a Shelf vanilla candy cane cookie with marshmallows. Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot to put into words there. It is a lot. I can say. Let's take a look at the back. We got like a little cartoon thing here. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but it looks like they're just making the cereal or something. I don't really know. So yeah, I guess we're hoping to have some vanilla flavor and some candy cane with cookie flavor of some kind. Also, important to note, the official cereal of the North Pole. So, you know, official. I'm not sure who gets to decide that, but yeah. What up, Yenum? Okay, so, oh boy. So, all right, very pink. Okay. Of course, we can't forget the marshmallows, of course. Let's see if I can open this clean. Ooh, that was a clean open, actually. Okay. So, I should mix them all at the end? Maybe. That seems kind of crazy. So, okay. First things first. Put a little bit of cereal into this cup. Wow, where are the marshmallows? Not mushrooms. I think the marshmallows have all, like, fallen to the bottom. Or, oh, they're way down there. I just poured out a bunch, and no marshmallows to be seen. So let me kind of get in there. See if I can get some of the marshmallows themselves. Okay. I got some more marshmallows. I think perhaps the ratio of marshmallows is a lot lower than one would like, even compared to something like Lucky Charms. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting right now, is that the marshmallow ratio is incredibly not good. But okay. Let's take a look at the cereal here. It's in a cup. It's pink. Let me try and snag one of these marshmallows so you can really get a look at them. God damn, they're so small. They're not only is there not many of them, they're tiny compared to the actual, you know, cereal piece here. It's much smaller. It's pink and white and such. So okay. Let's get a little sniff first. Okay, so a bit of vanilla stuff going on there. Let me pour into another container some of this so that I can get the milk in it and have it start soaking in a little bit. Cracking open the milk. Well, alright, that's fine. Alright, so let that soak. While that's happening, let's do the dry test. Okay, so this is just the cereal part. I have not had the marshmallow. Kind of definitely has some vanilla. I'm not really feeling the candy cane flavor. I'm not noticing the candy cane flavor. It's definitely sugary though. Let's see if we can get a fucking marshmallow here. We have an individual marshmallow. God damn. Alright. Here we go. One tiny ass marshmallow. Oh! Okay, the marshmallow is where the candy cane flavor is. And actually, it's pretty good. Like, it actually just tastes like candy cane. And, like, you know, peppermint and such. I was not expecting that. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Alright, so this has been soaking for a little bit. This has been soaking. So let me get a nice spoonful. Okay. Mason jars. Look, I don't have many glasses. I pretty much just drink water, so I actually don't really have many containers to hold liquid. Anyway, it was with the milk. It was certainly much more dull of a flavor. Kind of like sort of any other vanilla-y cereal. But now I'm gonna put in with a splash of milk here, the not heavy soaked, and see how that goes. Just put in for a moment. And then... Okay. Okay. Here's my assessment. When it's dry, when it's very soggy, it's not as good. In general, I don't think it's that great. The vanilla flavor's fine. It's a weird flavor anyway with the candy cane stuff, but the candy cane flavor is solely located in the marshmallow. And because of that, and because of the lack, like the distribution of marshmallow to the whatever the star shapes are called, it makes it so that it's very much more vanilla, and then you randomly get this like peppermint candy cane thing, and it's kind of like, all right, well, sure, I guess. Not exactly sure what's going on here. It's also just kind of a weird flavor in my opinion. So I'm thinking I'm not gonna rate it that high. So let's see, dry. Let's go. I'll probably adjust these as we go on, but I'm gonna go with like a 4 out of 10 because you also have the marshmallows. I'm not a big fan of the candy cane flavor anyway, but that's the only thing that's actually interesting about it. So I'm gonna go with 4 for dry, 4 for milked, and 2 for soggy. Give it like a 3 average score. If you want to see the spreadsheet I'm using, you can do ! cereal. So yeah, put that back in. That was pretty quick. Would not really recommend overall. I was trying to see if it was oat based or not. Looks like I'm seeing corn. Yeah, corn flour blend, sugar, wheat flour, dehydrated marshmallow bits, etc., etc. Yeah, so it looks like mainly corn and some wheat in there. I gotta sample more. I did like a spoonful. I'm telling you, it's I think for this one in particular, you don't need to go too heavy. Because it's really like that vanilla kind of flavor. You've tasted it before in another cereal. I can't think of one that comes to mind right now, but it's like very much a pretty bland, like not actually vanilla, but you know, processed fake vanilla flavor. The candy cane stuff, if you like peppermint flavor and you're like a peppermint patty kind of guy or girl, you might want to try this. If you like are a super peppermint candy cane person, sure, give it a shot. You'll probably be disappointed with the ratio of marshmallows, but okay. All right, so let me update the scoreboard there. Okay, done. Let's move on to the next Christmas cereal. I'm going with Elf. Yes, this is about the movie. The one that, you know, came out like almost 20 years ago at this point. Yeah, this one. That is what this is. So, quick look at the back here. Clausometer thing. Talking about maple syrup and other stuff of that nature. Sure, why not? So here's the deal. Sweetened corn puffs. Holiday tree marshmallows. A little bit disappointed with the, it's just kind of bland, right? Just to start off. With Elf here. Just little puff balls. And then just some marshmallows of tree shapes. I feel like they could have done more, I guess is what I'm saying. You know, like maybe they could have done multiple marshmallow shapes. Like a candy cane or something. The interesting thing here is, though, Christmas tree shaped marshmallows. Yeah, sure. Flavored with maple syrup and other natural flavors. So a maple flavored, that could be interesting. It makes me think of, if anyone recalls, I believe Waffle Crisp also had a maple flavor, which I believe RIP Waffle Crisp was discontinued in 2018, sadly. So RIP to Waffle Crisp. I actually remember I had a phase of Waffle Crisp before back in the day for sure. I had a Waffle Crisp phase. That was a good cereal. All right. Ooh. Oh, that's good. Okay. That's a good whiff right there. That is definitely maple syrupy. I'm a fan. It does make me think of Waffle Crisp too. So that's a good start in my eyes. That's a good start. That's a place I want to be. I feel like everyone, if you were a cereal eater as a child, you had different phases of the cereal that you ate. Am I wrong to say that? I know for me, I had different eras of cereal. I remember I ate honeycomb cereal for a while, Honey Nut Cheerios. I had a Lucky Charms phase, a Frosted Flakes phase, Frosted Flakes, and then I like mixed it with Corn Flakes so it wouldn't feel as unhealthy. Waffle Crisp, Golden Grams phase, Cinnamon Toast Crunch phase. Yeah, I mean, I had a decent amount of cereal back in the day, for sure. All right, let me wipe out this thing a little bit. We don't want that peppermint flavor stinking up the place. I haven't been eating cereal much really at all in recent times. But what I would do is I would get, I believe it's like the whole wheat bran flakes, and then, boom, grab some raisins and sort of make my own Raisin Bran, but not have the sugar from the normal raisins of Raisin Bran. That would probably be my go-to healthy at the moment. All right, so. Elf cereal. Here we go. I'm already a big fan of how this smells. I'm not gonna lie. Let's get a quick look at the marshmallow shapes. Nothing too fancy here. I mean, they're kind of shaped like trees. I know the light is bright, but trust me, they're vaguely shaped like trees. There's pink ones and there's green ones. The corn puffs are really nothing fancy. They're just little circles, yellow balls. This is what it looks like in a bowl. You got some stuff here. Okay. So first, let's get a couple dry pieces here. All right, we got a couple corn puffs and a marshmallow. I'm a fan. Granted, the marshmallows are marshmallows. There's nothing really special there. No special like flavoring in it as far as I can tell, just kind of like a standard marshmallow sort of vibe. Let's put some milk in this bad boy. I definitely like this better than the last one, for sure, so far. Alright, so we put some milk in. Wipe up a little bit that's spilled. Let's get a couple spoons in here. Some ASMR for you. I'm a big fan. Big fan of this maple kind of flavor. I think the marshmallows don't really do anything for me. They're just marshmallows. I'm gonna kind of let the rest soak for a little bit to see if it changes much. So we get the soaked rating. I think, so I don't like to be wasteful, but there's no way I'm eating all of the cereals of all of these boxes. I think I'm probably gonna choose, you know, 1 or 2 and treat them as dessert or a cheat day or something. And this one right now is a pretty good contender for that because, yeah, I'm a fan of the maple leaf flavor. I don't think. Here's how I feel about it. If the marshmallows were removed, it wouldn't really bother me. But I also don't think they detract and make it, you know, substantially worse with them in there. So I'm gonna jump up kind of high here. I'm gonna go dry. How strong was the maple? I mean, it was fairly. That's hard for me to judge, right? Because I haven't had cereal that often. But that's a good question. It didn't. I don't feel overwhelmed by the maple flavor, right? So there is that. And maybe I'm just a maple fan as it is. So there is that as well. I'm gonna go dry. Almost all of my dry ratings will be lower than at least the regular milk, because I'm not really someone that eats cereal dry if I were to eat cereal. So I'm gonna go with like a 6 dry, an 8 or almost a 9, maybe even a 9. Let's just say 9 and see. And then right now let's go with the soggy. They're probably soggy-ish by now. Let's see. They've definitely got extra absorbed. It definitely weakens the flavor a little bit, but it still has enough crunch. It's not like super omega soggy, right? It's just the outside of the puffs are a little softer, but you still get the flavor. And yeah, again, I guess my review is that I don't really care that the marshmallows are here. If you are someone that's still like a marshmallow fiend, like you're like a Lucky Charms guy, you can almost think of this as like waffle crisp with some marshmallows in it. That's kind of what this feels like. I don't remember, obviously it's been so long since I've had waffle crisp. I don't know exactly how strong it was, but this definitely does give that vibe. And I guess the only knock against it is the shapes and the theming of it is kind of weak, but that doesn't really affect the flavor. So I'm gonna go 9 milked, and then soggy absorbed. It's still good, but I think just the light milking is the best, especially if you want the crunch. But I'm still gonna go with like a 7.5 or something. Okay. So the key here is now I need to check. Right? Because it's like I kind of have to like clear the milk out every time. Otherwise it might affect the flavor. Alright, let's go for holiday cereal number 3. Now the last 2 cereals that we had here were new flavors. This one, apparently, next up here, Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch, is a returning flavor. I don't recall how long. At least it was here last year. But I never had it because I wasn't doing cereal. And yeah, I'm pretty interested. Sugar Cookie, whole wheat and rice cereal. Yeah, special limited edition. Christmas time. It was here last year apparently, and now it's here again this year. I definitely had myself a Cinnamon Toast Crunch phase. I probably still would enjoy Cinnamon Toast Crunch if I had it now. But okay, good. I didn't want this to explode everywhere. All right, quick sniff test. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess it tastes like a sugar cookie. Let me put this. So I'm dumping the empty milk into this because this is empty. Because I don't want to reuse the milk, but I don't want to drink it all because that'll be a lot of milk too. Shut the hell up. I'm not copying Ludwig. Ludwig copied me. All right, so let's pour this in and get a look at it. So it looks pretty similar to it looks pretty similar to regular Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Might be hard to see, but it's a little less browning because the sugar stuff on it is white as opposed to more of like the brown cinnamon sugar from regular Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So first, let's put a little bit of milk in so it can start soaking. All right. And this time we're gonna go with the just regular, you just put milk in the cereal, you're dabbing it in there a little bit, and let's get a taste. Okay, so here's how it hits. The initial hit is of the powders, of course. I don't know if it's that strongly sugar cookie tasting. It kind of just tasted like Cinnamon Toast Crunch to me, but that part, so it's kind of a two-phase taste. It's the powders that is like more of the sugar cookie tasting kind of thing. And then once you start, like, you get the powders get, you know, dissolved and such, you actually start chewing into the square, and then that part is more like the traditional Cinnamon Toast Crunch taste. So it's good, because Cinnamon Toast Crunch is also already good. The back here, not too much to be said. Yeah, I was about to check for cinnamon. Whole grain wheat, sugar, rice flour, canola oil, fructose, cinnamon, wheat and soy. Unless I'm missing it, I don't actually see the word cinnamon here anywhere, and the box doesn't have anything on the back. It definitely tastes like it. Let me do another bite. Let me do a dry bite, actually. Let me do a couple dry pieces now and do the dry test. So I did that just to purely absorb the sugar, like the powder coating. And yeah, that is actually definitely more like a sugar cookie. And then when you chew into it, it's more like a regular. Yeah, so the powder is different. You're looking for the labeled flavor. Well, see, that's the thing. It just sort of says naturally flavored sweetened whole rice and wheat and stuff. And then sugar cookie toast crunch. So I could just be misreading, but it I never thought Cinnamon Toast Crunch was that good dry anyway. I think I would probably go with like a 3 or a 2 even, maybe just a 2. Maybe that's really low. Maybe I'll go 3. I feel like the Elf on a Shelf one was better than the vanilla ones. I think are better than that dry. So anyway, start with a 3, and then for the mixed, it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch, like in terms of goodness. The sugar flavor and being like the sugar cookie, still fine. I think it would depend on my mood whether I would prefer this over the Elf cereal we just had, because they're very different flavors. But I could still see it being like like an 8 or a 9 when it's like got the regular milkness. So I'll give it a 9 for now. We'll see. And now that it's been soaking for a bit, let me get a taste here. Obviously very similar to how a regular Cinnamon Toast Crunch would taste when they've kind of been wetted in the milk for a while. Softer. Not as chewy. You still get the flavor. Decent amount of the powder has been absorbed by the milk at this point. But the milk then kind of has that flavor. So it's still good. I honestly think it's basically, in my eyes, just as good as the Elf cereal. Maybe not quite as good when it's soggy compared to the Elf cereal. Maybe like a 7 instead of a 7.5. I'm gonna finish eating it because otherwise it's just gonna go to waste in this bowl. But definitely a contender for a considering as a dessert one as we go into the week. If you like Cinnamon Toast Crunch and you see it and you want to try it out, would definitely recommend to try it out. See if the sugar cookie taste is super different for you than maybe a more avid Cinnamon Toast Cruncher would immediately pick up on the differences a lot stronger than me, because I haven't had it in a while. But let me finish this bowl. It's good. It is good, I will say that. There's a reason that I didn't really put much of the Elf cereal or the Elf on a Shelf cereal. I never even really did the Elf on the Shelf stuff. I feel like that's more of a new age thing, right? In the past decade or so, maybe? So, after I was, you know, kind of adultified, if you will. Very good. The Elf cereal and the Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch, very good. But I think the Elf cereal is, at this point, giving you a flavor that is harder to find because of Waffle Crisp being gone. Whereas the Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch, you can basically get the same vibe that you want from Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So, pour this milk out away. Give it a wipe down, because it's going to have a bunch of sugar in it at this point. And then we'll move on. Alright. I'm keeping the music rather low today, because I don't really want it to be interrupting. Alright. So that looks good. So now we're going to have a little bit of a palate cleanser. We just had a bunch of sugary cereals in a row. There's plenty more where that came from, but we're going to mix it up. We got no more Christmas specific cereal. And when I was getting these, you know, I don't really have cereal that much anymore. So when there was a couple that caught my eye that either I just had never seen before and didn't know this variant existed, or just straight up wanted to try it. This is kind of in the never seen it before, but also just straight up wanted to try it category. This one here, peanut butter Chex. If you know me very well at all, or maybe not even that well, you would know, well, I eat a lot of peanut butter. I'm a big peanut butter guy. So, I'm interested to see how this works. Chex is something that I definitely ate a decent amount of as a child. My brother liked Chex quite a bit. Just the plain Chex, blue box, standard. This one's gonna be bottom tier? I don't know. I will say, I don't know how many other... Oh my. Oh man, that is a strong peanut butter smell. Holy moly. That is a strong peanut butter smell. That is a very strong peanut butter smell. I will say, I might get a little bit of hate from this, but the only other cereal that is kind of has peanut butter that I can think of, right, is Reese's Puffs, whatever. And I don't like Reese's Puffs. I don't like candy for cereal, really. One, parents probably would never have gotten it for us back in the day. It's just too insanely unhealthy and like bad. And two, chocolate cereals in general, not my thing. I don't like chocolate cereals. I also just don't really like chocolate plain as it is, like a Hershey's chocolate bar or something. That's not my deal. I don't really fudge with chocolate. Get it? I don't really fudge with chocolate. unless it's got stuff with it. So Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, I'll have that. Kit Kat bar, I'll have that. Just a plain chocolate bar? Nah. Not my thing. So the same kind of applies to the spectrum of things that have chocolate. Chocolate ice cream, not my thing. Chocolate cereals, so whatever, like Count Chocula, the chocolate Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Puffs, you name it, I ain't about it. With that said, it looks like Chex. There's not really anything too different about it. Maybe they look a little more tan than plain Chex. That's kind of what's looking like the case to me. They're a little more tan, if you will. Salted Chex, maybe. Let's put some milk in this thing. I'm really interested to see how this is. Because I like peanut butter, but I don't know if I would like peanut butter with like milk in there, you know? While the milk is setting in, let's first do the lightly milked test. All right. Peanut butter Chex, here we go. Well, it's definitely Chex, and I can't eat, I'm a child. The peanut butter flavor is not as strong as the smell was. Like, the smell of it was much more peanut buttery than the taste. It's very light. It's a very light taste. It almost doesn't even get there. I almost don't even notice it. But it definitely is like not plain Chex. So in that sense, yeah. But because it's such a light taste, it almost feels like it doesn't, like, why am I buying this? Why am I eating this version of Chex as opposed to regular Chex? Maybe if I had regular Chex, I'd be able to notice it a lot stronger. Like if I had some regular and some peanut butter, and then boom, boom, I'm sure it would taste a lot strong. Like I would notice it more. But in the context of what I'm doing at this moment, it's not a very strong taste. At the same time, I don't know if I would want it to be a strong taste. So for the milk score, I'm gonna give it a pretty mediocre, like 6. It's edible. It's probably not as insanely healthy as some of these other ones, but I still probably wouldn't like go out of my way to buy it. Well, if I'm doing 0 to 10, I don't know. We can reevaluate at the end. You can maybe, you'll be here. You can reevaluate at the end and tell me what I probably rated too high, and we can adjust. Let me have a couple dry pieces now, though. Again, just Chex, but they are a little tan. So, taste is definitely more present with without the milk. So perhaps I could almost see this being a case where if you wanted something peanut buttery, but you know, a snack wise, but like little pieces of things to whatever, then you might actually rate this higher than the milk. I could see that being the case. I think that's a rare case. You know what this would be great in? What, like a trail mix or whatever? There's already Chex in something like that, right? This version of that in something along those lines, but maybe more with like nuts and raisins for more of like a healthy trail mix. But then you have these in as sort of another piece. I think that would actually be pretty good. I think that actually would be really good. Toss the peanut butter Chex in with some nuts, some raisins, whatever other stuff that you put in your trail mix. I think it would be pretty nice, actually. I'm actually gonna rate this higher dry and I'm gonna adjust the milk score. So I'm gonna go 6, and then I'm gonna bring this down to a 4. Would be good in a trail mix. And a soggy absorbed flavor now, I imagine this is gonna be kind of trash. Kellogg's Pie. Yeah, the soggy mix doesn't really do anything. I basically would give it the same score. Maybe like a point lower. Half a point lower. Okay. Unfortunately, I poured more of this than I probably should have. So I'm going to finish this off. Do we have Kellogg cereals? We do, right? Yeah, we do. A lot of it's General Mills, though. I've never been particularly faithful to one or the other. That's never been a thing for me. Is that a thing for people? Are there people out there that are like, I'll never eat Kellogg cereal, and then others that are like, General Mills is the only way? Or General Mills is general trash? Well, I know there's a thing for everyone out there, but I feel like that thing would be more specific to the cereals themselves rather than the brands themselves. They might be like, oh, I'm a Lucky Charms, Golden Grams, Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy. And then someone else is like, I'm a Frosted Flakes Fruit Loops guy. And then someone else is like, I'm a Fruity Pebbles fruit cake. And then, yeah. Haven't eaten cereal regularly since college. Okay. So let me pour this milk out. Overall, peanut butter Chex, probably not worth buying unless you're using it, I could see, as part of ingredients of a trail mix or some sort of snack concoction. Would not recommend it as an actual just cereal to eat. Especially if you're looking for Chex anyway, you're probably just looking for something bland, right? So, okay. Pour this milk out. Give it a wipe down. And we are going to go back to Marshmallow Land. We're actually going to have a chain of marshmallows in a row here. A decent chain of them, in fact. All right. And we're going to start that chain off with... what is it? Fruity Pebbles? Yeah, Fruity Pebbles. With marshmallow. From Post. So, marshmallow, sweetened rice cereal with marshmallows. It's the same thing as normal, but with marshmallows. Got some TV on the back. Now, there's also the chocolate version of Fruity Pebbles. I don't know if there's a chocolate version of this with marshmallows, but even if there was, I wouldn't get it. Also, Black Elemental, I'm with you. I don't really eat unhealthy cereal anymore, but this is a special occasion. So, I barely even eat cereal anymore. So, here's my thing. I already never liked Fruity Pebbles. I was a Fruity Pebbles hater from the beginning when I was young. I thought Fruity Pebbles was trash, and it was always trash. It was probably one of my least favorite cereals among some of the common cereals that you see. The reason for that? The taste of it in terms of the flavors were probably okay. Oh, Apple Jacks. I had an Apple Jacks phase too. Mini Wheats. Mini Wheats aren't bad. Only Fruity Cereal you liked was Apple Jacks. So, let's get a sniff. Yeah. So it's definitely... Oh my. It's definitely still Fruity Pebbles. It's probably going to be no surprises here. It's just going to be Fruity Pebbles but with marshmallows in it, right? Actually, hold on. Let's take a check here. Here's what the marshmallow shapes are. I didn't even check. Come on. Come on, camera. We got orange, watermelon, pineapple, blueberry, banana, and strawberry. And then on the box you can kind of see some of the shapes there. They're not too special. So for example, here is the pineapple. The light's bright, but it's green and yellow as it looks. So, yeah, I never liked Fruity Pebbles. I thought Fruity Pebbles was always pretty trash. And even just looking at it now, and kind of maybe this is part of why I didn't like it back then. But, I mean, just look at it. It looks like rainbow-colored, like, cat food slash... like, so you know, okay, here's a good example. When you have, like, a Raisin Bran, right? When you have Raisin Bran, and you get to the end of the bag when it's, like, a lot of the pieces are, like, tiny and broken up, and, like, you usually don't want to deal with that. That's what this completely is. This is what that is, except, you know, flavored of rainbow garbage, and, all the rainbow flavors here. That's what this is. There's just these tiny, annoyingly sized, cat food-esque, broken pieces of Raisin Bran. That's what it is. Okay, so let's get some milk in this. All right, milk is in. Marshmallow Fruity Pebbles. Let's get the quick spoon, the mixed, the lightly milked taste test. Oh my god. This is an overwhelming amount of, like, things happening in my mouth. What is going on? It is rice-based, okay. Oh my god. Alright, let's just another try. See, I never liked Fruity Pebbles. So this just isn't going well. I think it is so bad. It is so overwhelming, the amount of, like, sweetness. And to be honest, right, it's not that creative. It's not that creativity matters, but it's like nothing that you wouldn't expect from the title alone, right? It's Fruity Pebbles, but there's marshmallows in it. That's it. And the marshmallows don't have anything particularly special about them. As far as I can tell, the marshmallows don't actually taste like what their things are. So this is supposed to be orange. No, it's just marshmallow. So none of the marshmallows are particularly flavored. And then obviously the dry test here is going to be the same as if I had dry Fruity Pebbles, which is equally terrible. In my eyes. So sweet. So overwhelmingly sweet. I hate Fruity Pebbles. That's really all I can say about this, is I always hated Fruity Pebbles, and I know I'm biased, or whatever you want to call it, but I'm sorry. Fruity Pebbles are trash. Always have been. If you like them, you were like, just, you were one of those kids that, like, I don't know, poured sugar things in your mouth. You ripped open the packets and you ate them. That's who you are if you like them. I don't know. I can't do this. I can't do this. I have to do the soaked flavor test, so I am going to do it now, but it's slightly more digestible because it's the milk has absorbed maybe some of the sugariness, perhaps. But I guess I would rate the soggy because I get the whole. I've already said what I had to say, right? It's cat food, but so sugarized, and just generally, I don't like it. I never have. There's pretty much no way that I'm ever going to like it. And that's pretty much it. I do remember Pixie Sticks. I actually definitely remember I liked Pixie Sticks, which is interesting. But yeah, okay, ratings. Dry, probably the worst for me. I think if you like Fruity Pebbles, you probably like if you were someone that liked Fruity Pebbles dry, sure, you would like this and it would have marshmallows. There's really nothing special here, right? It's just there's marshmallows. So I'm just gonna go like 2. I guess I'll go 1, 2, 3. That's how I'm rating it. 1 for dry, 2 for milked, 2.5 for soggy absorbed. I really can't. Let's see. Let me look at the other flavor. So Elf on a Shelf Vanilla Candy Cookie was 2 on a soggy absorbed. I think I would rather have that than Fruity Pebbles. So I'm just gonna go 1.5, and I'm gonna go 1 for milk and 0.5 for dry. Not a fan. Fun Dip, I also was a fan of. So okay, Fruity Pebbles, it's in the name. There's no surprises here. Next, I need to first. This one is not gonna be one that I'm gonna have as dessert. This, hey, anyone want to come and pick up some Fruity Pebbles? Go for it. I am not eating this. I am not eating the rest of that. So that's gonna get. Let me try to dump out the milk in the container, but not dump too much of the cereal. And then the cereal will go in a different container. Yeah. All right, let's empty this thing out. Let's empty this thing out. Actually, I'm just gonna put it in that container. God damn, I poured way too much of that, huh? I knew I wasn't gonna like it. I don't know why I poured that much. All right. So how many are we in? 5? 5 or 6 in, I think. That might have been 5. This next one I'm more hopeful for. I believe next is Frosted Flakes with marshmallows. Next up, Frosted Flakes with marshmallows. I was a fan of Fun Dip. I need to wipe this thing out. Actually gonna put a little bit of water in there as well, and really get a good wipe. Okay, wipe this bad boy. And next we have Frosted Flakes with marshmallows. All right, that looks good. Here we go. Now, personally, I definitely had myself a Frosted Flakes phrase. And I actually even had layers of phases of Frosted Flakes where I mixed in Corn Flakes so it wasn't all Frosted Flakes and things like that. I don't know if I ever mixed Raisin Bran with it or not. I can't remember. I know I mixed Raisin Bran with Corn Flakes for a while, but Frosted Flakes with marshmallows. The shapes are, we have the Power Paw and the Sporty Scarf. So the Power Paw and the Sporty Scarf. So obviously, corn-based. Frosted Flakes, Bran Flakes, Corn Flakes. They're corn-based. Help Tony save schools or something. Cool. Let's move on. Let's move on to actually opening this. I have to say, I've had good luck opening these bags so far. I haven't had one that's exploded or not. You know, sometimes when you open it, it'll just like rip down the side. No, I've had some clean opens so far. So that's good. So yeah, it smells like Frosted Flakes. There's no surprise there. I'm gonna pour in a decent amount of this. Okay. Alright, so we have... Oh, there's a third shape. Wait. Oh, there's 4 shapes. I missed the bottom. There's the Sweet Swirl and Tony the Tiger. Apparently that's Tony. I guess, yeah, that's like his ear, and that's his other ear, and then that's his face. Okay, sure. So, the swirl has a swirl. The paw is as it looked. And the scarf is just like a red thing. It doesn't really matter. And then his face? Where's his face? I poured out a decent amount. I don't see one. Oh, okay, I found one. It's basically, the ears don't really jut out very much. Probably because it would be annoying to make that shape. Okay. Should I continue the music or no? Because I was just repeating the same song the whole time. So I imagine here that I'm probably gonna like this. Though honestly, I would probably rather just have it without marshmallows, but let's do it anyway. Alright, so put some milk in. Give it a quick wipe. Let's see. So the first initial lightly milked taste. Okay. So the marshmallows definitely change it, right? Because you're not just having the crunchy flakes. You get this extra sweet burst of marshmallow stuff going on. It's still good. I liked Frosted Flakes, though I do feel like these are... Maybe it's just been a long time, but these don't actually feel all that particularly frosted. I don't know if they used to be more frosted. They are frosted for sure, but... Dry test. Marshmallows dry, not my thing. So I think the dry test is definitely lower. So I'm gonna go for the dry. I'm gonna go like, I gotta go above. Probably below. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with like a 5. Cause I don't know. I feel like any of the brand cereals dry, just it's like the flake cereals dry. Like why would you do that? It feels wrong to eat them. Maybe that's just me, but something about like their uneven nature and like they would just like break as you grab them. Dry plus dry marshmallows, not a huge fan. I'm gonna actually go down to a 4. With milk, it's Frosted Flakes, but it has marshmallows. I think actually that detracts from it personally. But if you like marshmallows, it boosts it. It's pretty much how it is. If you're a marshmallow person and you know Frosted Flakes are okay for you, this boosts it for you. If you kind of like Frosted Flakes is how they are, you might not like the marshmallow added in. Personally, I would rather just not have them in. I'm gonna go with, let's see. So we have Elf on a Shelf was 5, Elf was 9, Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch was 9. So let's put this at like 7. That seems like a decent spot. And then Soggy Absorbed. Now we're kind of at the Soggy Absorbed part, so let's get that in. Obviously, it loses a little bit of flavor because it gets absorbed into the milk, but honestly, I think they're about the same. Some detractions, some additions. Marshmallows get softer. The flakes get softer, which can be nice. Flavor kind of tones down, but I think that actually makes it better, personally, because with the marshmallows, it was a little too much. So I'm actually just going to keep it at a 7. I think they're both even at that point. And comparing to the other scores, I think this is fine. For reference, the Elf cereal average score is 7.5, Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch 6.3, and Frosted Flakes with marshmallows a 6, which I think is kind of where I would put it. I would put it below Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch at this point, for sure. For sure. I might even be giving it too much credit. Because if I had regular Frosted Flakes here, I think I would probably rate it higher than this. But I don't know if I would put it above Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch. This is the thing with me and cereal. Very, like, assuming that I would ever have, sugary bad cereal. There would be times where maybe I have the Toast Crunch, and that was exactly what I wanted. Perfect. But then there's other times I could see myself being like, you know what, Frosted Flakes. And I don't think I'm alone in that thought process. So, next, we're moving on. I really just would rather not the marshmallows in here, I think. But regardless, the next cereal. Dump out the milk. Wipe it down. The next cereal is going to be tropical. No, not tropical Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops with marshmallows. Again, kind of the third back in a row. I figure I'd do all of these regular cereal but with marshmallows all together because they're going to be pretty similar in terms of how they operate. I think that won't be as too big of a surprise to anyone. But definitely the ones that stood out to me. I think honestly the one that stands out the most, I might go back and raise some scores, is the Elf cereal. Mainly because it's a unique flavor. Because the sugar cookie toast crunch is limited edition, I wouldn't be that upset though, because I could just have regular cinnamon toast crunch and it basically fills that void. Anyway, Fruit Loops with marshmallows. Now with more marshmallows. Free milk. Wait, I didn't get free milk. Anyway, all right. The shapes here we got. Does it say it on one side? No, it just kind of hopes you see them. Cherry, orange, yellow, green. I don't know, green and yellow, and then the toucan, blue with red. Nice. Personally, of course, all of this is personally, so, you know, whatever. And the back is just about getting free milk. Whatever. I've never really liked Fruit Loops that much either. Not quite as... I didn't hate them as much as Fruity Pebbles. Like, I would eat them. Like, I would eat these, but I would not eat Fruity Pebbles. But if I had to go with a loop-shaped cereal of this kind of shape, this size of a loop, I would go with Apple Jacks all day. Apple Jacks all day over Fruit Loops, okay? I always felt like Fruit Loops felt extra. They felt super processed to me. They always felt that way. They still smell that way. They got that Fruit Loop smell. You know what I'm talking about? I feel like I've always noticed it has a peculiar smell that is just is for Fruit Loops to me. When I smell it, I think Fruit Loops. I don't know how to describe that, but so okay. One thing I will give credit for this cereal is that is a well-shaped cherry marshmallow. That is well done. Maybe I got lucky in the first one, but the toucan is good too. The toucan's actually legit. The beak is just where the beak is, basically. I mean, the orange one is just an orange. That's not particularly difficult to do, but... Alright, let's put in some more. I'm not sure if the way that this box particularly was, the ratio... Actually, the ratio is not bad. At first, I thought it was a little low, but not that bad. Apple Jacks are better, though. That's why. Apple Jacks are better because of that. It's all about that cinnamon, baby. Anyway, let's get some milk in here. I know they're very similar, right? But that's why I said if I had to choose between the two, I would go Apple Jacks all day because of that cinnamon. Anyway, let's get some milk in here. Let's get the initial taste. Oh, there goes the lid. All right, no, I found it. There it is. Boom. Here we go. Let's get the quick mixed taste. Yeah, it's Fruit Loops. but with marshmallows. No surprise. I think this is also the case for the marshmallow Fruity Pebbles and the marshmallows and the Frosted Flakes. If I was like 10 or 12 years old or something, like if I was in my Lucky Charms phase, I don't know when that was, but if I was in my Lucky Charms phase, I'd probably be like, wow, these cereals are all better when they have marshmallows in them. But as it stands now, the marshmallows don't do anything for me. They really don't. It's basically just making me feel like, why am I not just having Fruit Loops? Why am I having Fruit Loops with marshmallows? If I wanted my marshmallow cereal, I'd have Lucky Charms. Fruit Loops have always been like very barely serviceable to me. No, that might be harsh. They're serviceable, but still, they were never my favorite. If I had to choose between the two circled, like I said, I would go Apple Jacks. That said, I would not want Apple Jacks with marshmallows. And I think that's the same here. I don't really want Fruit Loops with marshmallows. But as the case with the last couple of regular cereal plus marshmallow, if you're a marshmallow fiend, probably ups it for you. For me, detracts it, but I also never a huge Fruit Loops guy anyway. For my fruit related cereal, I think I was more of a Trix kid back in the day. You know, Trix are for kids. I was a kid. I don't make the rules, okay? So dry, let's get a couple dry pieces. It's just gonna be what you expect. It's gonna be Fruit Loops and a marshmallow. My Trix phase was not very long, to be fair, and wasn't really my choice. Right? I wasn't the oldest sibling. Sometimes I didn't get the choice of what was happening. I had to eat what I got. Yeah, this is I don't want to be too harsh here. I don't think it's better. I guess for dry cereal, I would always prefer something like this over a Flakes. So I guess in that case, I would go like 4.5. Maybe that's too high. Maybe I think I need to boost my elf scores later on, but milked again, it's just Fruit Loops, but with that, I think I would give it I guess I would go straight 5. Like, I really don't care much. Captain Crunch is the best cereal dry. That sounds like you're trying to cut your mouth. I feel like that's anyway. Soggy Absorbed. Let's see where we are here. I think we're almost at the Soggy Absorbed stage. We'll have to wait a little longer. Good time for a sip of water to try and fucking absorb all this sugar. Dilute. So that I can actually taste food. Alright. Here we go. The Soggy. I don't know if I feel like it's better or not, or just the same. For some reason, my instinct is that I like this better because it's softer, but I don't know why. I don't know why I like it because it's softer. There's just something in my head saying that. I guess 6 then, maybe? Yeah, I feel like, so the average, it's averaging out to 5.3, kind of like right in the middle, and that's kind of where I feel like Fruit Loops are. They're like, if I had to eat Fruit Loops, I could eat Fruit Loops, but I would pretty much have many other cereals over Fruit Loops. So, okay. Let's finish this up and move on to the next one. Now, the next one here, we're done with the regular cereal plus marshmallow. We're actually going into a special flavor town. Okay? So I'm excited for this one. Alright. Dump out the milk. Wipe this guy down. Nice little wipe of the bowl and such. Probably gonna have to go grab another napkin at some point. Actually, I'm not even using napkins. This is toilet paper. I don't know why I don't know how I ended up with toilet paper instead of a napkin, but that is what happened. Okay. Next cereal. It is Fruit Loops, except we going to the beach, baby. It's tropical, limited edition. We Tropicanaing it up, baby. The back's got some cool art going on. It's like a whole town in this village in the trees vibe going on, you know? Kind of neat. So here's the deal with this one. It's not just like they're colored different sort of thing. No, this is like we actually doing different flavors type of thing. Okay? So this is what it is. We have pineapple, banana, orange, and mango. Some pretty unique flavors that don't really come, you know, to the cereal world too often. And fun fact here on this one, apparently this was an exclusive in Mexico for a while and has made its first appearance in the United States this year. So that's kind of neat. You would have had to like import Mexico cereal if you ever wanted to try this before this year. So obviously orange is in other cereals, that's fine. But pineapple and mango and even banana, kind of rare flavors. So I'm a little curious to see if this actually tastes different or not. But let's first get a smell. Ooh, it actually does smell super different. It actually does smell super different and not like regular cereal. What happened? Someone messaged me? Oh, it's probably a bot. Okay. Anyway. It's got like a maybe like a citrusy kind of smell to it. Something like that. Some sort of like citrusy vibe. What up, Angel? But yeah, banana, pineapple, orange, mango. Let's pour this in and then let me give you a look. Now, surprisingly, to me at least, there's 4 flavors listed here, but there's only 3 colors. It's green, yellow, and orange. That's all there is. There's 3 colors, but there's 4 flavors. Little strange. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work. But okay. Tropical Fruit Loops. Banana, orange, mango, and pineapple. Now, I've not been a huge fan of eating mango very often, but I am a fan of mango. Hashtag free melee. Anyway, congrats on winning LACS 3. Okay, let's get the quick lightly milked test of flavors here. Make sure I want to get a green, yellow, some orange. Well, like I said, it smells different and it definitely tastes different from regular Fruit Loops. I don't really know how to describe it. Alright, let me have a couple of dry pieces. Maybe have an orange. Couple oranges. Dry. I mean, it kind of has an orange taste. Now let's have a couple of dry greens. See what I get here. Okay. Maybe the... Okay. And then the yellows. The yellows, some dry yellow pieces for the dry test. So, the orange is the orange flavor. Or, I honestly can't tell. Hold on. Hold up. I'm kind of trying to figure out if, like, because in regular Fruit Loops, I'm pretty sure it's just they're all flavored the same. I'm trying to discern if that's the case here as well. I really can't tell. There are times, okay, I guess I'll put it like this. I can't tell if the colors are different flavored. Maybe I'm just like too overwhelmed at this point. But I will say I can taste the orange at times. I can taste the pineapple. It feels like pineapple is maybe the strongest dominant flavor. The mango, you can like kind of taste it blending in with the others. And then banana, there's like no banana flavor at all. So I think it's, yeah, you can mostly, if the pineapple is definitely the strongest tasting flavor. That said, in terms of regular Fruit Loops versus this, it's just different. I don't know if it's because I'm more used to regular Fruit Loops. I don't know if I would prefer one over the other, because I don't really care for regular Fruit Loops that much anyway. I don't think it's necessarily a bad different. I think it's just different. I feel like there's people, if you gave them both of these without knowing like which one is the regular one or whatever, there would be people that would like this one more, and then I think there'd be people that like the regular Fruit Loops more. I don't think there's a particular like this one is trash, that one is best, this one is best, that one is trash. But I also don't really like Fruit Loops that much in the first place. I think probably due to familiarity with the original, I would prefer the original over this. That's sort of where I'm left, is that I would probably prefer the original over this. But certainly it's really interesting how strong it smells compared to how strong it tastes. It's still there in the taste, actually. It's still there in the taste. We're going with the soggy test now. It holds its flavor decent when it's soggy. I mean, it holds it as much as a regular Fruit Loops would. So, that's what you can expect. If you like pineapple flavor, you might want to try it out. If you like pineapple, it actually does kind of have the taste. So, it's a small box. Maybe give it a shot. Especially if you already like Fruit Loops, but you like pineapple as well, give it a shot. If you're not really a Fruit Loops person anyway, probably don't bother unless you're a super pineapple person. Because then, it's like I said, there is something to be said for the fact that it is a rather unique flavor among cereals. We have to admit that. So I applaud the risk taking. And it must have done decently because it was a Mexican exclusive and then came here to the US, so maybe who knows? The box right now is labeled limited edition, limited time. But who knows what the future holds for Fruit Loops Tropical. My resulting rankings. Dry. Honestly, I think I want to almost just give it same scores as regular. Actually, I think I prefer it over the Fruit Loops with marshmallows, just because I don't really care for the marshmallows when dry. I'm just gonna go like 5.5, 5. Very in the middle for me. I'm changing Fruit Loops marshmallows to a 5 because it's for the soggy category, just because it feels right to give it a 5 instead of a 6 there. A 6 seems like it doesn't deserve that. Okay, so there we have it. Fruit Loops marshmallows, just a 5 average rating overall. Fruit Loops Tropical, a slightly higher 5.166666667 repeating, of course, just because I prefer without the marshmallows. But you have to give it credit for the unique flavor that it's going for. And I think there are people out there that would really love to try this cereal out, that are big pineapple fans. So there is that. Okay, let's wipe this thing up. We got more cereal to do, but I think we've passed the halfway point actually. Yeah, we have. You believe it? We're already halfway through all of our cereal. All right. Next. Now, we have Golden Grams. Now you might be thinking, all right, well, what's different about it? Well, if you were a Golden Grams connoisseur and really, refined taste buds, you perhaps would have noticed, unlikely though, to be honest, almost no one noticed, in 2012, Golden Grams changed their formula ever so slightly so that pretty much no one noticed. And that's why this one's called Retro Recipe Honey is Back. Meaning real honey is back. Now, if you were paying attention, I said 2012. So, for some reason they're going with like an 80s theme. Remember the 80s. Oh, so retro recipe honey is back. It's only been gone since 2012. They're really pushing the retro to I think, make people think that it's been gone for a long time, but it really hasn't been. But hey, that's the marketing approach they're going for, so more power to them, I guess. Cause yeah, now we're having real honey again, or golden honey, or whatever. So let's try it. I definitely had a Golden Grams phase, I'm pretty sure, at some point in time. I feel like I recall having a Golden Grams phase. I'm not expecting this to taste... I'm pretty sure it won't taste basically any different from before. Because, one, pretty much no one on the planet noticed. Two, the recipe's simple. It's graham cracker and then some honey kind of, flavoring drizzled on top, right? It's wonderful. That's my dry test, by the way. Here we go. Dry test. Yeah. Probably a little too sweet for me as far as, I don't think I would, do that with Golden Grams. I think that'd be, kind of crazy. Why isn't my milk in a bag? True. Here's the box. Retro recipe. Honey is back. Family size. And remember the 80s. Golden touch. Bringing back the original recipe. I did my research. They only took this flavor. They only changed the formula in 2012. All right, let me get some milk in this. Okay, for the dry flavoring though, I think I would rate it higher than like the Fruit Loops and stuff. I think I would probably give it a 5.5 maybe. Or maybe not. Let's go with a 5. I think it's a 5. Again, I've never been a dry cereal guy. And you know what? I might down everything on the dry category by -1 at the end. We'll see. But for now, I'll give it a 5. Let's get them lightly milked. How often? Yeah, bagged milk. Yeah, that is a Canada thing, isn't it? Yeah, so the lightly milked, it is definitely doesn't taste any different. It is, you would really have to have an old box and this new box next to each other, and even then you might have a tough time discerning the two. Golden Grams, man. They are, I remember why I had a phase of these. They're pretty good. It's got that honey. Wrap this up while I'm letting the rest soak in for the soggy category here, but as far as the regular milked, I think it improves the cereal. I don't know why I'm getting like my nose is getting all this milk, maybe all this sugar. I don't know. God damn. But I think the milk improves it. I think the graham crackers being a little bit softened is better, but the regular milk still has the crunch. So if you're a person that likes the crunch, you'll still have it. I don't think, honestly, at this point, I would put it above the Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch or the Elf cereal, though. I've really been a fan of. I think when I liked Golden Grahams, it was before I was on a Cinnamon Toast Crunch phase or a Waffle Crisp, or maybe not. But I think what's the best way to phrase this rather? They're good. They're Golden Grahams. They taste the same as before. Really not discernibly different. And Golden Grahams are still good. The graham cracker, the graham cracker, you know, base with the honey is still as good as it ever was. There are certain times where I definitely could feel like, oh man, Golden Grahams would be dope AF. And then times where I would want, you know, something else. I think when they're soggy or, you know, more absorbed, doesn't really hurt it for me. I think it's basically the same as milk. They're a little softer, so if you like it a little extra softer, then it's fine there, but I think there's still plenty of flavor there. I don't think it takes enough so to the point where it's like detracting. Yeah. It's just good. I would certainly, I think I have to rate it higher than Frosted Flakes with marshmallows just because I'm kind of a hater on the marshmallows. So either I have to rate it higher than Frosted Flakes with marshmallows, or I just have to lower Frosted Flakes flavor. Frosted Flakes with marshmallows ratings. I'm gonna go, I think, I'm thinking either 7.5 or 8 for both. I don't know. For now, I think I'll go with 8 for both and see where that lands it. It gives it a 7, which is above Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch, which I don't think is how I truly feel about it, but I think that's because Sugar Cookie, I can't say that one. Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch's dry ranking brought its average down by so much, which is unfortunate. But it does give the average higher than the other one. So I saw very funny. Let me finish off these grams. Wait, take a picture for the gram. Like Instagram, but graham cracker. Okay. All right. Tough crowd. That's fine. I thought it was good, but you know, whatever. Let's finish these off. Wouldn't you know it? We only have 3 cereals left to go. All right. Man, I probably put too much Golden Grams in that bowl, huh? All right. I need to get a new set of napkins to wipe out these bowls. So I'm going to at least give you some music in the meantime, eh? While I go do that. I'll be back in a minute. Alright. Don't worry, you don't want to hear that song anyway. Alright, so I also figured it was a good time to actually give a proper rinse to the bowl. It's been a little while since I've done a water rinse, so I did that at the same time. Now I'm going to dry it out here. And we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so next we have another cereal. We have Lucky Charms Honey Clovers. So we went from honey with golden grams to now honey with clovers. And made with real honey. So Lucky Charms, but the charms or whatever, the clovers rather, are now they weren't clovers before. They were those weird cat food looking shapes. But anyway. Wait, what is this? Is that a new... Did they change the marshmallows in Lucky Charms? Is that like unicorn? Hearts, stars, and horseshoes. Clovers and blue moons. Lots of golden and rainbows. And the red balloons. So they changed it with a unicorn. That's weird. Huh. Has that been a thing for a while? Did they replace the rainbow a while back and I didn't know about it? Kind of cool background art, right? This is like, oh, these are the honey ones or whatever, and this is like the normal one. Help Lucky cross the river to the golden honey clovers. To cross the river, move from the charm to charm following the order of the charms below. Oh, this order. Repeat the pattern until you finish. What? Oh, I see. Okay, so you just follow it along. Anyway, doesn't matter. Not the important thing. I got distracted. But yeah, we'll have to see. I do unfortunately have a bit of bad news here. If you're familiar with traditional Lucky Charms, and if you were closely attentive to them, you would know that, well, Lucky Charms is traditionally oat-based pieces for the non-marshmallows. For some unforsaken reason here, these pieces of non-marshmallow stuff are rice-based, which, or corn. I see cornmeal and rice flour, but either way, it's not oat-based. So I don't know why they did that, and it's going to make it a lot harder to compare to regular Lucky Charms because of that. But that said, let's get it in a bowl. Let's take a peek. So here it is. You know, not too crazy. You know, you got the shapes and the marshmallows. The shapes are, you know, a little more yellowed or goldened than the traditional Lucky Charms non-marshmallow pieces. But we'll see. We'll have to see how strong the honey flavor is. And whether I would prefer this over regular Lucky Charms or not. So let's get the quick, lightly milked test in here. You crack open a bowl, you pour the milk in, you take your first bite. Well, it's certainly different. It's certainly different. Ooh, it has like a little taste later on that I didn't expect. And it's making me think of another cereal, but I can't place the name. Not quite Honey Nut Cheerio, but... maybe the Honeycomb cereal? The flavor of it definitely reminds me of something else that I've had before. Maybe it's like the Honeycomb or the Honey Nut cereal. Something along those lines. Kind of gives a vibe of that flavor. And then, of course, the marshmallows. So it's definitely got like a bit of honey going on there. So I do appreciate the strength of the honey flavor. Let's go with a couple dry pieces of just just the non-marshmallow. Okay. Alright, maybe not as strong. No, obviously the marshmallow is the same, but for consistency's sake, I'll do some of those dry, and then I'll do a couple more of these dry as well. There is something about Lucky Charms marshmallows. I don't know what it is. Feels like they tasted better. Feels like compared to all the marshmallow things I had mixed with regular cereals, these marshmallows feel like they're better. Now the question is, would I rate this above what regular Lucky Charms would be? I don't know. It's one of those things again where it's like you'd be so used to regular Lucky Charms that I would find it difficult to say that it's better. At the same time, it feels like the honey flavor is not actually as strong as it initially was. I think perhaps the sweetness of the marshmallows were tricking me a little bit in my first couple of bites. Because when I did the dry eating of just the non-marshmallows, the honey flavor is not very strong. I basically almost don't taste it at all. And then especially comparing, of course, to the Golden Grams I just had, there's pretty much no discernible honey taste that I feel now. Yeah. I think the marshmallows were tricking me. Well played, marshmallows. You almost got me. But my thorough testing solved around that issue. That said, still not bad. Because, you know, Lucky Charms after all. But I think the fact that it's rice or corn-based, whichever one it is, does downgrade it compared to regular Lucky Charms. I think the Clovers, which is the main difference, of course, here, I don't think they're as good as I think I would rather have the regular cereal part of regular Lucky Charms over the honey flavor here. It's not really doing it. I don't really taste it enough to make it feel that different. And because of that, it's making me go, well, I would rather just have like regular Lucky Charms because the oat-based feels like it blends better with the marshmallows. So I feel like that's where I'm going to end up. That said, compared to the other cereals here in the list, I would certainly rank it lower than Golden Grams. Because I'm older at this point, again, all of the marshmallow cereals are kind of just naturally a little bit lower for me. Naturally lower than they would be if I was younger. Here's an interesting prompt. Would I rather have this or peanut butter Chex? That's tough. It definitely would depend on mood. But I think if we're going purely for like the sweetness and everything, I would have to give it to the Lucky Charms. For dry, I don't think any marshmallow cereal is good dry. I think it's just the dry marshmallows are strange to eat dry. So I can only go, you know, like, I think I'm gonna have to go knock down all of the scores on the dry column a little bit, but I'll give it a 4 to start. For milked, I think, do I like it the same or lower or above Frosted Flakes with marshmallows? That's an interesting test because I think I would like it. I think I would rate it less than Frosted Flakes with marshmallows. Because honestly, I think I would, if I had to choose between Frosted Flakes and Lucky Charms right now, I would probably choose Frosted Flakes. With the marshmallows and the Frosted Flakes, it makes the Frosted Flakes worse for me. But that said, I think, yeah, I'm going with like I'll give it like a 6.5. 6.5 for the milked, and soggy absorbed, kind of the same. Kind of the same for me, maybe even less. Maybe like a 5.5. Puts it above the Fruit Loops. Puts it below the Sugar Cookie and the Golden Grams and the Frosted Flakes. Maybe I can give it a 6 for absorbed. No. All right, one more bite. Let me see. Lucky Charms, Honey Clovers. I think I would rather have regular Lucky Charms. There's not enough, not strong enough of a honey taste. Plus the downgrade from the oat to the rice or the corn, whichever one it is. I think it's corn. But there's also rice flour in here, so I'm not sure exactly how the makeup is, what you would consider it as. All right. 2 more cereals. They're right there. Or right, 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 right there. Easy. I'm a professional. Dump this guy out. God damn, this is so much sugar to withstand when I haven't had anything close to this amount of sugar in this short of it, in this like length of time in a long time. Cleaning out the bowl a little bit. Now here we're gonna go back to a this is probably the healthiest cereal maybe in the whole group here. Maybe the peanut butter Chex is less is potentially healthier. I'm not sure. But Cracklin' Oat Bran. Cracklin' Oat Bran is a cereal that has been around a long time. You may not have heard of it before. I myself have never heard of this cereal before until sometime in the past year. And there is, it seems to be, this is a cereal that has a large grouping of like huge Omega fans that are like, they get like addicted to Cracklin' Oat Bran basically. So hopefully that doesn't happen to me. I'm a little worried, but we'll see. It's been around since 1977-ish, so pretty long. And it is, you know, pretty basic. It is oven baked oat cereal. So let's crack it open. The box, by the way, is tiny compared to all of the other cereals. This one is a very big family size thing, but just as a comparison, it's a very, very small and very thin. To compare to a more normal sized box, I'll go with the Tropical Fruit Punch box is kind of a normal size, but it's even smaller than that. It's even smaller in that too. So I don't know what's up with that, but it seems like Kellogg's kind of like throws Cracklin' Oat Bran under the bus. Never really talks about it. Never really markets it. Just kind of like, we don't want to talk about Cracklin' Oat Bran. I don't know why, because there's apparently a big following. And I don't know if this is true or not. I was trying to research this because I saw a couple like comments or like mentions of this. That apparently maybe the recipe changed in 2017 or 2018, but I couldn't really find definitive proof. Ooh, I like how it smells. Oh, it almost gives me like a have you ever had like an oatmeal raisin cookie, but like a good one that smells good? It's kind of what this smells like. Yeah, it kind of smells like an oatmeal raisin cookie. Ooh, that's nice. That's kind of nice. Okay. Anyway, let me pour this in and then show you what these things look like, because they're pretty strange, if I'm gonna be honest. They look weird. They're like these weird, like, square rectangle shapes with a rectangle hole in them. Like, okay, I see you. And yeah, it's like, you can kind of, probably not going to be able to see it here just because of the lighting, but also the camera focus. But it's, you can see that it's like very much, you can kind of see like the individualized pieces of oat and stuff going on here. But yeah, it smells very much like an oatmeal raisin cookie almost. Obviously there's no raisins going on, but oven baked, shaped O-like clusters of golden oats, coconut, and a touch of cinnamon. On the coconut, I didn't expect that. Or wait, is this? Yeah, okay. All right. So this cereal, because of what it looks like and how I can feel how tough it is, I imagine this might be a cereal that is significantly boosted by the soggy category here. I think soggy, or at least absorbed, might be where Cracklin Oat Bran peaks, but we'll have to find out. I think lightly milked will have a pretty solid crunch here. So let's see. Put the milk in. Mix this guy in a little bit. And then let's just try to eat a couple of these giant ass squares. So, obviously crunchy. But they're not so hard and crunchy that they're gonna like cut the roof of your mouth like Captain Crunch kind of thing. It's not like that at all. They still fall apart enough when you chew on them. Oh my goodness. Ooh. That was how much sugar is in this? So for a serving there would be 16 total sugars. I don't know, I'm assuming that's much. Let's see how that compares to, say, Tropical Fruit Loops. Wow, so it has more sugar. Oh no, the size servings are different because for some reason it's in Spanish. Okay. I was gonna say it might have more than some of these other cereals based on their serving size, but for whatever reason the serving sizes are completely different. I don't know why that is. I want to find one for a comparison. Serving size, 40 grams. Cracklin Oat Bran serving size, what it's going with, is 56 grams. And I don't see any that are even close to that. Serving size, 39 grams, 40 grams, 40 grams, 41 grams. Oh, god damn it. 39 grams. Interesting. That is not something I expected. 40 grams. 41 grams. 36 grams. Yeah, so apparently Cracklin Oat Bran's serving size is gigantic. So that kind of throws off the numbers a little bit, but that said, let me have a couple dry. Oh, wow. I think it would actually be decent, like, again, I could see this being put in to like a trail mix or a Chex Mix type of thing. Would I see myself eating Cracklin Oat Bran? Again, not really for any of these. I would in terms of like eating it as a dry snack. But out of the ones here, it probably would be one of the higher ones to consider as something to eat as a dry. Like, almost think of it as like a goldfish cracker. But, you know, obviously not cheesy. And you just pop it in. I think you would need a decent amount of water. I think you would get kind of overwhelmed by the amount of oat and sugariness and such. The cinnamon is actually quite strong. Let me get another. Put these in the milk lightly, and so I get another light milk test here. It's good. It's so different from everything else today, but it's still good. High in fiber, not bad. It's cinnamony. It's got the oatmeal kind of stuff I was talking about before. I don't know if it's because I'm towards the end and I probably feel full-ish, but I would imagine that this cereal is fairly full, like, makes you feel full because of its high in fiber and its, you know, oats and stuff. Alright. I don't want to grade it yet until I get a soggy absorbed taste, which hopefully this will be. That didn't really feel soggy. I am gonna go with dry. I'm gonna give it a 6. I could even see it being better. Mainly because I see it in the same place as the peanut butter Chex. It's a little more filling maybe than the peanut butter Chex in terms of the dryness, in terms of being like a dry snack one, but in terms of taste and how I picture it, I imagine 6 is a good spot for it. That was a soggy. That was a soggy absorbed. Arguably better. Arguably better. This is a really tough one to judge for me. I don't know. It's just so unique in how it tastes. Both the taste itself, but like the texture and like the fact that it's oats. I could see it easily being. I could see you easily like putting in like some strawberries or raspberries or banana. They cut it up in the cereal kind of deal, and that would still probably be pretty good. Maybe even better. It's just it's good. It's still, even though it's like, you know, oat brand, like it seems like old, like an old person food, and looks like it would be like boring and healthy and stuff. It actually feels, I feel like it's quite sweet. But not sweet in a way that's like, this is super processed sweet. Sweet in just that there's a lot of cinnamon, and it just feels like, you know, it's brought together, baked, and I'm curious if there's honey. There's syrup, okay. Corn syrup, okay. Okay. Yeah, the whole grain oats, sugar, wheat bran, palm oil, oat bran, corn syrup, wheat starch, coconut, molasses, cinnamon, malt extract, nutmeg, salt. Salt. Okay. Yeah, this one's really tough for me to rank. I also feel like I can't finish this, not because I don't like it, but because I think it's just it's kind of filling. But it's good. I'll put it this way. I can see why there is a special contingent of Cracklin Oat Bran addicts out there. I don't see, given my illustrious cereal knowledge, a way that you could like easily replace what Cracklin Oat Bran is giving you with a different cereal. It's just a very unique cereal, and it's kind of good. I feel like I'm gonna try this out again later in the week, just to make sure, just to like double, just to try it again, just because I don't know. There is something alluring about it. I don't know how to describe it. That said, comparing it to the rest of the categories, that might help. Looking at the other cereals today. Would I rather have this versus Elf or Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch or Golden Grams? I could see there being cases where I would rather have it. I feel like this is at least an 8. At least an 8. But I don't know if I want to go higher than that. I don't know if I want to go 9. I could see it though. I think I'm gonna go 8.5. I think I'm gonna put over Golden Grams. I could see there being cases though where I might want Golden Grams over it, like feeling the honey or something. But I think I'm gonna go 8. I think I'm gonna go 8 and then 8.5. 8.5. 8 on the milked, 8.5 on the soggy absorbed. I think it's a little bit better when it's soggy absorbed, but honestly, they're both pretty much 8.5. But I I did 8.5 so that the average would end up as a 7.5 because I wanted it to be, I liked that number choice. Okay. Thankfully, there's only one left because I'm quite full now. But it's a pretty important one. I'm gonna pour this out. This cereal. Let me pour this out first before I make my grand speech here. God damn, I'm getting full. Full of sugar and spice, except not spice, because it's not nice. Also, thank you, Spectrum. I know I saw it earlier, but I didn't mention anything till now. Alright, let me wipe this thing up. Wipe up the bowl after I rinsed it out with a little bit of water. Looking good. Okay. So, we've made it. We've made it to the last cereal. If this cereal never came out, none of this would have even happened. This thing is the only reason I went on this cereal adventure in the first place. Over a month ago, November 14th, the first real images of this Pokemon cereal were brought into the world by MSDBZBabe on Twitter. And ever since then, I knew I needed to try it. And while searching for this, I had to go on many trips, many adventures. It was honestly a pain in the ass. But on those trips and adventures led me to seeing all of these other unique cereals I've had today. And that's when I had the idea that I would have it. I just wasn't able to do it and set it all up until now. That said, I got a couple boxes. The reason I got a couple boxes is because on the back is a set of a bunch of water starters. But all of the boxes that I had only had water starters, and I know that there's a grass starter and a fire starter one out there. And I'm probably going to be looking to trade my blues, if you will, the blue water starters, with someone for a green water starter and a red fire starter, or green leaf grass starter and red fire starter back. So if you're out there, if you want to send it to me or something, please. I would like to have a collection of all three with all the three backings. Now, this is called Berry Bolt. That's what the actual cereal name is. There has been one other Pokemon cereal in the past, if you're familiar with it. It's the blue box with the Articuno on it, always stands out, and the big Pokemon letters were kind of embossed, which made it really unique and cool. I don't think I ever actually had that cereal back then, and it's kind of difficult to get a box now. Just the box itself, let alone the box with actual cereal. Not that I would even want to try that cereal at this point, but getting the box itself would be kind of cool. But here we go. The final cereal. Pokemon with Pikachu on the front, of course. Berry Bolt. Why is it that cereal boxes... There we go. They do the thing where they like widen as soon as you open it sometimes. I don't know what that's about. So, okay. Marshmallow shapes. We got like a Pikachu head. I'm guessing this is either a tail. Pikachu head. Either like a tail or something. But this one's orange, so I don't know why that is the case. But I think it's just tails or thunderbolts. Not sure which. And then Pikachu head. And then we got the back. And on the side, there's some trainer questions. Trainer question 1. Which first partner Pokemon in the Kanto region is dual type? Is it A, Charmander, B, Bulbasaur, C, Squirtle, or D, Pikachu? This is pretty easy. It's B, Bulbasaur. Grass poison. 2. Which of these Pokemon evolves into Frogadier? A, Froakie, B, Croconaw, C, Politoed, and D, Goldeen. Obviously, it's Goldeen. And 3. Where do trainers take their Pokemon to be healed? Oh, I thought it said beheaded. I was like, what the? Be healed, the Pokemon Center. And 4. Which Pokeball causes a Pokemon to become more attracted to its trainer? Isn't it like luxury or something? And then the last one, what type of Pokemon is Litten? A fire type. Also, obviously, Froakie is the one that evolves into Frogadier, but figured I'd. Oh, the answers are right here. B-A-13. Yes, it was Luxury Ball. Sweet. Alright. So these are sweetened corn puffs with some marshmallows. Pours out nice and easy. You know, it does look like the box. You got the green and then like this purplish, dark bluish kind of color. And then you got the marshmallows in there. The last cereal. You want to see how much milk we went through? This was full when we started. I've been pretty reserved, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I've only used as much milk as I needed to because we've only been doing small amounts of cereal, but get the milk in. It doesn't really say what the flavor of the cereal part is supposed to taste like. It just says naturally flavored with other natural flavors. Berry Bolt. So just some sort of like berry, maybe like a Captain Crunch berry type of move. But okay. So the quick milk test. Yes. We are eating Pokemon. Anyway. Whoa. That's berry. Get it? Like very berry? Yeah, anyway. I was not expecting it to be that flavorful. But maybe it's also because I haven't had the Captain Crunch, like Crunch Berries, but I'm assuming it's similar to that. Yeah, it's very much berry. Makes sense. I'm gonna do a couple dry pieces here. I'm gonna do a red, 2 reds, and then 2 of the like the blue, dark, whatever, navy, blue, purple color. So let's do the blue ones first. Or the purple, whatever. Okay, and now let's do the red ones, see if they taste any different. I don't think so. I don't think they do. If they do, I think it's placebo. No, they're the same. Okay. They are the same. The marshmallows, again, I think just because I'm older, marshmallows don't do much for me. But the cereal also already is very like sweet and flavorful with the berries. It does make me wonder why they chose blue though. Like why they chose this like dark blue, navy blue color with red. Like what was the inspiration there? I'm not exactly sure. Why not yellow? You go with like yellow and red for the Pikachu colors, right? I'm not sure I'm seeing why they went with that color. But, alright. The marshmallows, yeah. Color contrast. I wonder, are Crunch Berries this color? I know the Crunch Berries have the red color, but do they have this dark color? I felt like Crunch Berries had more of a purplish color, but these seem more like navy blue. Hold on. Time to Google. Crunch Berries. Quick Google. Okay. Alright, so looking at pictures of Crunch Berry up close here. We're doing some research. Particularly, yeah, here we go. These, particularly the purple ones. Those are the most similar in color. But when comparing them to these have less of a... Maybe it just happened to be these pictures. But they look much less aerated. Maybe they are similar. No, they look less aerated, though. Like, if you look here, the holes in this particular blue piece here, and then some of the other blue pieces. You really don't get that. They're really much more tightly packed from what I'm seeing here. Let me get a dry piece out, just a couple dry pieces in my hand just to check. No, overall, yes, there will be some aerated parts, and where things bubbled and whatnot. But on average, it seems much less aerated than those pictures. But that could just be bad luck. Alternatively, I know a thing that happened a lot. You can actually even see it in this picture, right where the cursor is. This purple one, it's got a little bit of the green or the blue mixed in on the tip here where my finger of the cursor is. And I've seen none of that at all in these cereals. It's been very much well executed, only red or only like the dark navy purple blue thing. So I don't think they're necessarily reusing exactly the crunch berries here. But that said, certainly interesting comparison. I think they're the closest thing that I would compare them to. Very flavorful though. Very flavorful. Trying to think, are they made by the same? Is Captain Crunch General Mills? I'm so bad at memorizing that stuff. Captain Crunch. Where's the label? None of the boxes say it on the front, which makes me think it's not General Mills, but the Quaker Oats Company. Huh. But is that Kellogg's or General Mills? Captain Crunch is manufactured by Quaker Oats. Oh, so it's just completely unique, huh? Okay. Interesting. Overall, the Pokemon cereal. I think part of this being last is hurting it, so I'm gonna try to be neutral and make up for that. Because my mouth is like overloaded by all of the sugar sweetness, and I just want to not have sugary sweetness right now. But if you like Oops All Berries for Captain Crunch, probably pretty sweet, but it also has marshmallows. Very sweet, yeah, very sweet, very sugary, and then you got the marshmallows to boot. So if you're someone that fits the bill for, then I think that makes sense. Let's see. Let me compare it to all of the other marshmallow ones we've had today. We've had Marshmallow Fruity Pebbles. Obviously, this blows that out of the water. Fruity Pebbles is ass. Frosted Flakes with marshmallows. I think I would rather have Frosted Flakes with marshmallows over this, just because it would be a little bit less sweet overall compared to this. I would probably rather have this over Fruit Loops, marshmallows, and whether I would have it over Lucky Charms or not, it would just definitely depend on mood. So I think it's somewhere in the middle of the pack. Even when I had Captain Crunch, I was never an Oops All Berries person. I think you need the regular Captain Crunch when you have the berries to really smooth it all out and make it a nice experience. And I think this is just like Oops All Berries plus marshmallows, basically. Very similar vibe. And I don't think the soaked in sogginess makes that much of a difference. It makes it softer, but otherwise pretty sweet. For a dry cereal, I would never have this dry. It'd just be too sweet, too much. I'm gonna go with let's go 3.5. It basically has both of the things that I wouldn't want about a dry cereal. Just being like fruity. Fruity dry cereal would not be my thing. And then it has marshmallows, which I don't think are good when you have dry. With milk, definitely bumps up. I think I would put it somewhere around the 6 range. Less than Frosted Flakes, but above, say, the Fruit Loops. So 6 or a 6.5 sounds right to me. And then Soggy Absorbed, basically, I'm just going to go same score here. So, let me bring this up so you can actually see it. The final rankings here. The final rankings are as follows. I'll even do this. Alright, so The final results here. We have Elf on a Shelf. Not that high. Let's try to go find the lowest ones. The lowest one here is Marshmallow Fruity Pebbles. I'm a confirmed Fruity Pebbles hater. Fruity Pebbles hater through and through. The average, a shitty 1 score. Then we have number 2. I think ranking would actually be the Vanilla Candy Cookie Elf on a Shelf. The name is so long, also takes away points, but not actually. But the only thing I would say about this is that it has a unique flavor. Unique flavor with the mint. So if you like mint, try it. That's what I'll say. If you like the mint, you should probably try this. If you like mint chocolate chip ice cream and mint chocolate and mint whatever, you should probably try this because it's got the candy cane kind of peppermint thing going on. So 3rd place, Peanut Butter Chex, it looks like. Yeah, Peanut Butter Chex 3rd place. That kind of checks out to me. Pretty bland. Sometimes bland is good, but honestly, if you're going for bland, might as well just have regular Chex. The peanut butter does not really do a whole lot. Though, it would be good in a trail mix or a Chex Mix type of thing. Which is why the dry ranking is higher. Is tied for the 2nd highest, actually. Now, what we got? 4th place. 4th place goes to Fruit Loops Marshmallows. Kind of exactly where Fruit Loops should be in my mind. And since these are specials, Fruit Loops Marshmallows basically can think of it as Fruit Loops in this case, because a lot of these others are standard cereal plus marshmallow. And yeah, Fruit Loops, I've never been a huge fan, but they've always been, serviceable, and that's where it goes. Right after that, boom, Fruit Loops Tropical. Pretty much the same thing in terms of how I evaluate it. Serviceable. The reason it gets the boost is because I think the marshmallows detract from the Fruit Loops overall. And it is, again here, I will say, unique flavor with the pineapple. So if you like pineapple, it might be worth trying it just to say you tried it if you really like pineapple and just in general. Kind of some unique flavors going on there. It's fair enough. After this, we have, I believe, a tie with Pokemon Berry Bolt. Fruit Loops and Berry Bolt are a tie. And I don't actually think they should be. I don't think they should be. And that's why I'm going to bump down Fruit Loops Tropical to a 4.5 dry to make it tied with regular Fruit Loops and to make Pokemon Berry Bolt 1 rank higher than it. But I think Fruit Loops Tropical should be above Fruit Loops Marshmallow. So I'm going to bump this down as well to a 4 because I think that, again, I think a lot of my dry scores mid and early on not quite well executed. All the marshmallow ones should be like not rated highly. I think dry with marshmallow is terrible. But this way still keeps the order that I think makes sense. Fruit Loops Marshmallows, then Tropical, then Pokemon. The Pokemon, very sweet, kind of overwhelming almost. The marshmallows are there. I think it's just a little bit much. Basically crunch berries, but then you have some marshmallows in it. Milk, soggy and absorbed, I think are fairly even there. So, next after that, I believe, let's see, we got one. So now we have Lucky Charms Honey Clovers, 5.3 average. I think this makes sense. I think I would probably rather have it over Pokemon Berry Bolt because the clovers or the cereal part of the Lucky Charms Honey Clovers helps balance out the marshmallows that are there, whereas with the Pokemon, it just is so much extra sweetness, it's too much. And then that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I would say I would rather have regular. Regular is better because oats. Whereas this, the Honey Clovers, for some reason, I don't know why, for some reason, they did not go with like using the oat base. And I think maybe if they went a little harder on the honey flavor, that could change things too. So that brings us to what's after 5.33. Well, after 5.33, we go 6. Frosted Flakes with marshmallows. This makes sense to me. I think Frosted Flakes is definitely better than the Fruit Loops in general. I think I think regular Lucky Charms maybe. I would understand why people might like regular Lucky Charms over Frosted Flakes. And I would certainly understand why they like the regular Lucky Charms over Frosted Flakes with marshmallows. If this was just straight Frosted Flakes, then maybe you have an argument. Again, this is very marshmallow bias, both ways. If you're a marshmallow lover, you might heavily weigh Lucky Charms over Frosted Flakes, whereas I'm more of a marshmallow hater nowadays, as I've gotten older. So I would prefer Frosted Flakes without marshmallows over Lucky Charms at this point in my life. That said, I think because the honey clovers are not the oat base, and the honey is not really there, making it not feel that special, that I think the Frosted Flakes over it makes sense to me. Dry Frosted Flakes, you could potentially bump this down. I think I would be perfectly fine saying this is like a 3 or a 3.5. I think basically almost all of these dry. I've never been a big dry cereal person anyway. That's why I honestly might change this to a lower value. But that said, we'll move on to the next one. After 6, we have 6.33. Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch. Now, I think the average here is a little bit, you know, little bit unfair. I don't think this represents it well, because to me dry cereal isn't important anyway. So if I put weights on each of these rankings and then you had a weighted average, I think the Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch would end up being like probably close to even with Elf here, or at least certainly above some of these other ones. The dry obviously brings this score down by a lot, and probably it maybe shouldn't do that. That said, still pretty great, but I think also it's not the worst being where it is, because honestly it's not so different. Like, you can, if you miss out on getting this limited edition cereal, it's not so insanely different from Cinnamon Toast Crunch, where like you're not missing out on that much if you just had regular Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You know what I mean? The flavor isn't so unique where it's like, oh man, I'm missing out. It's kind of just like, it's just slightly different from regular Cinnamon Toast Crunch in my eyes, in my tongue taste thing. Anyway, we go from 6.33. I think that means we go all the way to 7 with Golden Grams, the new flavor, or the new old flavor. Golden Grams, this is the same. This is the same as regular Golden Grams. I didn't even bother to change the name, putting the retro flavor or anything. I just wrote Golden Grams because that's what it is. It's really not any different. Golden Grams, I think, are solid. They've got the good honey vibe. They've got the graham cracker standard, and I think Golden Grams are a solid cereal. I think it could be argued based on how you're feeling that it could be a 10. It could be above all of these in certain cases. I think that's the case for all of these like top 5, where there are certain situations where, depending on what you're feeling, you could easily choose one of the top 5 over the other. The top 5, of course, being the Golden Grams, the Cracklin' Oat, the Sugar Cookie, the Elf, and then I believe, where was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the Frosted Flakes, I suppose. Yeah, all those 5. I could see there being cases where you're like, I'm feeling Frosted Flakes. I'd rather Frosted Flakes. And then I could see the case for the Elf, the Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch, the Golden Grams, and the Cracklin' Oat. Speaking of Cracklin' Oat, that's where we're going after Golden Grams. Cracklin' Oat, what a unique cereal. It really just is unique. You just gotta try it yourself. That's really all I gotta say. It's got unique texture. The cinnamon with it is there. I don't really taste the coconut or whatever that's there, but I've never been able. Coconut is a taste that I I've never been a fan of or can't taste that strongly in general. I don't know, maybe my tongue is broken, but uh, it was good. It was good. I'm definitely going to try a bowl of it or at least another tasting of it at some point later on because I have the box, but also because it was just very unique. And I think maybe having all of the other sugary cereals before it potentially would lead to my tasting being different if I try it later on in the week. But I think I would still like it a lot. And I can see why there's like a strong contingent of folks out there that are really huge fans of it because it is so interesting to taste. Now we have one left. Number one in this group. I gotta admit, I did not see this coming because just the branding of it and the basicness of it being the puffs with some random marshmallows, I didn't think it was gonna happen. But lo and behold, the Elf cereal is my winner of this list. It really all comes down to the syrup flavor. And reminding me of Waffle Crisp, which was a cereal I was a big fan of back in the day when I had cereal a lot. I definitely had a Waffle Crisp phase. And this reminds me of that. So maybe there's some nostalgia factor there. Could be. I think the marshmallows don't add a ton for me, but I also think I think this dry score might be a little bit stronger than it should be, to be honest, because I think because it has marshmallows, I should have rated it lower, but I think I probably only took dry pieces of without the marshmallow maybe, or just maybe just the maple made it so much so that I could ignore the marshmallows that I usually don't like. That said, all this really made me come down to believe is that Waffle Crisp needs to come back. That's what this has taught me. This taught me that damn, I can't believe Waffle Crisp got discontinued. Because this is kind of like Waffle Crisp but with marshmallows and a different shape. And I think I probably would just like this even more without the marshmallows. I think the marshmallows maybe every now and then as a mix-up, but I think just it itself is good. I think this could even be an 8. I think both of these scores for these could be 8s, but I don't think I'm gonna change anything as it is now because it's fine. In general, the top 5 that you have: Elf, Cracklin' Oat, Golden Grams, Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch, and Frosted Flakes with marshmallows. I think it's pretty good top 5. I think I'm pretty happy with how that went. It was an interesting little adventure for sure, and I don't know how I'm going to deal with all of this mess that I made. But I think normally I don't stream on Tuesday, but we did, and we did this cereal event, and it was fun, and I hope you enjoyed it. That said, I don't think I'm going to stick around and do extra stuff today because I have to clean up all of this stuff. And unless anyone has anything else they want to say or discuss about the cereal, I think this might be time for us to pack it up. You can do !cereal, by the way, if you want to see this spreadsheet. The one thing, though, that is not mentioned here is Purtle's pick. This was here just as a backup in case there was a cereal that I rated lower that ended up with a lower average than I thought it might be, you know, maybe I didn't think it deserved that low of a rating. But I don't think that really ended up being the case. I think I'm pretty happy with how everything ended up. I think maybe Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch got a little bit shafted. So maybe I would, maybe note Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch here as something that got a little bit lower rated than it probably should be. But an interesting list of cereals. I think all of the cereals that add marshmallows are just straight up worse than their original. I think that's pretty easy for me to say. I think I just hate Fruity Pebbles, and I always have, and I always will. Everything else I think everything else is kind of reasonably rated. I think obviously the Fruity Pebbles is super biased, but I knew that was going to be the case, and I said it from the beginning. So fight me. Okay. So, anywho, I think that is gonna be it for today. We had so many wonderful cereals. It was quite an adventure. And I think, even though some of them were rated maybe low, maybe like the Elf on a Shelf, that it's worth giving a shot if you think you might like that flavor. If you like the candy cane flavor, peppermint flavor, it might be worth checking it out. Same for the tropical. If you think you might like the pineapple or are interested in trying the pineapple flavor, you should give it a shot, because honestly, it's interesting. All of the other ones, honey clovers, pretty interesting, but not as strong honey-wise, and unfortunately not oat-based. All of these with the marshmallows in them that were traditional, trash. Throw them out. Garbage. Just get the regular versions of them. Trust me. Unless you're a super omega marshmallow fiend, it's not worth it. If you've never gotten to try Waffle Crisp, try the Elf cereal. Please do it for me. If you can find them anywhere at this point. I believe they were at Walmart. And if you've never tried Kraken Oat Bran, give it a shot. It's a small box. You're not going to be wasting that much. And it's so unique. It's so unique, and you could throw it into other things. So I would say, overall, that is how I feel about this whole endeavor. Maybe I can get my brother to eat some of this extra cereal so I don't feel quite as wasteful. Okay? That said, we'll have another stream tomorrow. We'll be playing some games, I believe. Maybe I can get Dem to play some games. Otherwise, we might continue the Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 stream. Their story, okay? So have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.